What do you eat just before you go into your lift? Really, really heavy. What would you recommend?
It's a tricky question.
And just to say specifically, let's say someone who's bulking.
Right. The thing about that is you'll hear people saying, and this goes back, to something we've talked about as far as understanding the body on a cellular level. First of all, we gotta understand what our body uses for energy during workouts, and that's called glycogen. Glycogen is stored in your muscle and your liver, and when I say stored, it means it's going to be stored there to be used for a later use. So if you're worried about carbing up the day of your lift, you're already too late. You need to be carbing up, typically the day before. As far as bulking goes or cutting, it really doesn't matter. In my opinion, if you're talking about a pre-workout meal, because you want to have those carbs loaded in the day before. Okay. I guess to answer your question, a great carb source, everyone knows, brown rice, sweet potato, oatmeal, those types of things. Yeah. Let's say you don't have a lot of energy throughout the day, and then you for whatever reason you're low carb, then the faster acting carbs could help. At a point, if you are carb depleted, like the whites, the sweet potato, the white potato or the white rice, things like that. But to answer your question, if you're worried about carbing up, a meal before your lift, you're already too late. Already too late.
There you go. And what about post-workout meals?
A post-workout meal, I always prefer food over shakes, but then again, you're talking about, and this is still speculated, whether there is an anabolic window or there isn't. I feel like there is. It might be a mental thing. So if you want to get a shake in after your workout, that's fine. You definitely want to get your protein source in. You definitely want to get your carbs in. You definitely do not want to get fat in post-workout. Me personally, I like to hit, some white rice, about a cup of white rice and 6 ounces of chicken post-workout.
Wow, I learned something new right there. All right, so no hot wings after working out.
Don't do that.
Okay, so more on the note of bodybuilding fitness, who's your favorite physique competitor?
My favorite physique competitor is you.
Oh, that got me right there.
I think, a lot of people, they have favorites in the sport, and my favorite athletes in the sport are people that I know, people that I get to interact with. So definitely getting to see you transform and, in my opinion, accomplish, greatness over that 16-week period. That was awesome to see. But you're off season now, so Brian Swain, you're my favorite.
There you go. Pass on the torch.
As far as pros, you said physique. You didn't specify women's or men's physique, so definitely Dana and Bailey. The reason for that is like I said, I'm not gonna get in trouble on this one. Is when everyone, if you're in the culture, you know who DLB is, you know who Rob Bailey is, and they're just awesome people, and what you see from their videos is who they are. I remember going to the Europa. The Europa was over, everyone was leaving, and I see Rob and Dana there.
Insert Dana Lynn Bradley picture right there. And that's where I'm gonna put the picture.
Okay, cool. Okay. And leaving the Europa, and it's like I see DLB and I see Rob there, and there's just swarms of people still there wanting to meet them, and everyone's swarming over to DLB. So I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to Rob, and I just ask him how he's doing. He's like, man, I'm tired. He's like, I've been here all day, all day yesterday. He's like, my feet are swollen up, and literally the guy's ankles were huge. And I'm like, why don't you go home? He's like, well, why would I want to go home when all these people want to talk to us and all these people want to meet us? And I felt like that was really cool, because what you see with them on the internet is actually what you get. So as far as favorite physique competitor, I have to go with her. As far as favorite men's physique, it's definitely got to be Sadiq. I don't know him on a personal level, but I do know that he responds to people on Facebook and on Instagram, which is cool. And we got a chance to meet him, and he was a great guy, and he looks sick. I think he's going to be the first Mr. Physique Olympia.
Yeah, he inspired me to train my back every day for a year. What about bodybuilding? Who's your favorite in bodybuilding?
Oh, bodybuilding. Going back to someone I know on a personal level, Mike Eli, Big Mike. You have a chance to meet him?
Yes.
Mike Eli is awesome. He's actually competing in the Masters Nationals. The guy's amazing. I met him probably, over 5 years ago, and I was always into lifting, but I was never into bodybuilding, and he's actually who kind of got me into bodybuilding, and he's just a great guy. He's a nice guy. We live 2,000 miles away, but we talk to each other still on a weekly basis. We see each other once a year, and he's a great influence. He's actually like a big brother figure to me, so he's my favorite bodybuilder. Going back into pros, everyone likes Jay, everyone likes Phil. My favorite pro bodybuilder has to be Kai Green. Going back into, like I said, on a personal level, when you see the guy's videos, it's like you feel like you know him. He's a very spiritual guy. You can tell this is what he lives, and he comes from the bottom, and he got to, I hopefully wins the Olympia this year. I'm pulling for him, but I was at the Southern States actually about 4 or 5 years ago, and I was walking through the lobby into the auditorium, and him and Tony Freeman were sitting there talking, and there was no one else in there, and they're like, well, there's no one in here, so why don't we just go out there? I'm like, okay, so they start walking out there, and as they're walking out, Kai Green comes up and he introduces himself to me and just starts asking me about bodybuilding. I'm like, I was probably 140 pounds, didn't even look like a bodybuilder. I was like, man, this guy really cares about his fans, and then you see him going out into the crowd and just introducing himself to random people. So,
as a trainer, what are the things that you love the most about helping others reach their goals?
The thing that I enjoy is just being there, and being blessed with the opportunity to see these people or be hand in hand with these people when they achieve their results and they achieve their goals. Like if we were to leave here today, there's 10 different roads we can take to get home. One of them is going to be, there's 10 different roads we can take to get home. One of them is going to be the easiest and the fastest way, with an experienced and a knowledgeable trainer or coach. That's probably going to be the best way, but not the only way. A lot of these people made their minds up, and to be able to accomplish what they accomplished, they have that drive and that determination where they were going to accomplish it. I'm just thankful they picked my road to drive on.
So that was some insight from an experienced winning prep coach, Christopher Evans here. You can follow him on Instagram and Facebook on the description link down below there. And big shout out, thank you to Stay Fit Gym. Thank you for allowing us to film this video and share this information with you. Thank you.